How's the news? I'm Tianlu. Multiple countries are calling for an investigation into what Palestinians are labeling a massacre. Israel has been accused of opening fire on a crowd waiting for emergency food assistance in northern Gaza. The Gaza Health Ministry says more than 100 people were killed. Israel says it is investigating conflicting reports about what happened. Meanwhile, Jordan has airdropped 48 humanitarian aid packages over northern Gaza. The Associated Press's David Villa has more from Jerusalem.
Israel's responded to all this, saying that it has already launched an investigation and noted that dozens of people who were killed were either trampled in the chaos, the surge of people swarming the trucks to get aid, or in fact plowed over by those trucks as the drivers tried to make their escape. And they've also said that soldiers fired warning shots at people only upon being approached in a way that was threatening and that endangered them. My colleagues at the Associated Press who are in Gaza went to hospitals. They spoke to witnesses who all said, or many of them said, that they were fired upon, including from a tank. They also spoke to doctors. The head of one of the big hospitals in Gaza City, Al-Awda, of the 176 patients he was treating, 80% of them had received gunshot wounds.
UNRWA says the European Union has granted 50 million euros to help the agency maintain essential life-saving services. The funding is part of the EU's total allocation of 82 million euros to the United Nations Agency for Palestinian Refugees. A spokesperson for the UN chief says Secretary General Antonio Guterres hopes other donors will follow suit. The sixth session of the United Nations Environment Assembly has concluded in Kenya. The meeting adopted 15 resolutions, 2 decisions, and a ministerial declaration aimed at halting the progression of the planetary crisis. United Nations Environment Programme Executive Director Inge Anderson says the meeting has opened important conversations.
So many of these resolutions, water, desertification, land degradation, dust descent and dust storms, have a reality that will not immediately translate into national law and national regulations, but will over time. We, UNEP, have been in business for a long time, and accordingly, we see when our governing council in the past, and now UNEA, has taken decisions, things have happened. For example, a number of conventions have been established.
Meeting in Nairobi from Monday, leaders have called for stronger joint action to address climate change, biodiversity loss, and pollution. African leaders urged for a more robust multilateral system to fight against environmental threats. U.S. President Joe Biden has signed into law a short-term stopgap spending bill to avert a partial government shutdown. It will prolong the existing funding deadlines by a few weeks, buying Congress more time to craft annual spending bills. This is the fourth time the U.S. Congress has taken such measures to keep the government running and allow lawmakers to finish the formal appropriation process for fiscal year 2024. 3 Chinese astronauts on the Shenzhou 17 space mission have safely returned to the Wentian lab module after finishing their 8-hour extravehicular activities. China's aviation authorities say this marks the first time in history the Titans have finished an extravehicular maintenance task on an in-orbit spacecraft. The crew also carried out a routine inspection of the status of the Tiangong space station. Flights from China to Thailand are crowded as reciprocal visa waivers went into effect on Friday. Seat occupancy on a China Southern Airlines flight from Nanning to Bangkok reached 95%. Many travelers chose the direct flight departing Nanning because the southern city is considered a gateway to Southeastern Asia. The defending Formula One champion has won the first pole position of the new season in Bahrain. Max Verstappen was 0.2 of a second faster than Charles Leclerc. George Russell and Carlos Sainz will start behind the front row. Chinese driver Zhou Guanyu qualified in the 17th place. And that's the news. I'm Tianlu.